I am begging you to start growing your own food. You don't have to be a pro either. We just started last year growing food in our backyard to feed our family, and we just happened to scale really fast. We've been so busy back here in our backyard getting everything ready for the 2026 growing season. And it's only May 2nd. We have a ton more stuff to plant still. So here's what we got growing so far. I just thinned my carrots a few days ago to about 1 inch apart. I'm growing Danver half-long carrots, and in this 6x3 bed I have 3 rows. And I counted them after I thinned them. I have 158 carrots in here. After they grow a little bit bigger, I'm going to come back through here and thin them out to about 2 to 3 inches apart. So at the end of the season, we're hoping for at least 75 to 80 carrots. Then we're going to move from our carrot bed over to our raspberry bed. We got 6 Heritage Red raspberry plants, and so far 4 out of the 6 are growing pretty decently. These 2 on this end are growing way more. They took off way faster than the ones down here. This one I believe is a goner. It hasn't grown at all. This one started off maybe a week or 2 ago. This one has these leaves down here growing, which I want to say they look like raspberry leaves. So time will tell with this one too. And then down here, this one's starting to pop off too. Raspberries are supposed to spread, so I'm not too concerned with the couple that aren't taking off yet. I'm sure we'll be drowning in raspberries by the end of next year. Right behind me from the raspberry patch is our blueberry patch, and I'm gonna be honest, only 1 or 2 of them seem to have new growth coming up. So that's a disappointment, but maybe when Ohio finally reaches warmer weather, it's in the 40s today, they'll start popping up. We have 5 blueberry plants, and obviously this bed floods. That's why we had to mound them up with 5 individual beds to where the roots aren't getting soaked. Moving right along to our broccoli. I got 7 broccoli plants from Walmart, but I had to cover them up with these laundry bags so that the cabbage worms or moth worms, whatever you want to call them, don't get to the leaves and eat them all up. That's what happened to our broccoli last year. So far, it's working, but it's still early on in the season. So over here in this bed, that's the carrot bed. These are the broccoli. In about a month or so, we're going to put a trellis here, a tunnel trellis, and we're going to line the edges up with a bunch of green beans and grow those all summer long. That's the plan, at least. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in this bed. It was supposed to be more carrots, but I ran out of seeds, so we'll see. Turning right on around to these beds. This one over here, we have our lettuce that I just sprinkled in. Then we have our spinach that I just sprinkled in. Same with this bed over here. I just went mad and dumped out the rest of the seeds of spinach and lettuce that I had left in the packets. And I did sprinkle in some dill on the edges. No, not that bed. On this bed, I sprinkled dill along the edges this past week. So hopefully we have some homegrown dill for all of our cucumbers and pickles that we're going to be growing this summer. This bed over here, we have 28, I believe, garlics all in the middle there. And then on the edges, I think I fit 75 onions. And, I mean, they're growing, but slowly. This side's doing a lot better than the other side over there. I have no idea why. But yeah, these garlic, I'm telling you, they're probably 3 or 4 feet tall. Back here we have our strawberries. I have 14 everbearing, eversweet strawberry plants planted. Some of them are flowering. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to pick them off, let them grow, I know strawberries spread, so part of me just wants to let them go and just see how it goes. And I have some onions sprinkled in around the edges too. Apparently they help with some pest control. But if you could just grow one thing to help feed your family this year, my suggestion is potatoes. This whole potato patch behind me cost me roughly 60 bucks, and I planted about, I lost count, about 130 potatoes in here. That's hundreds of pounds of potatoes coming my way. I have a variety of Red Norland, Yukon Gold, and Kennebec in here. And if you ask me how many I planted, I lost count. I started off with 182 seed potatoes. I know I tossed quite a few of them because they were rotting and yada, yada, yada. I'm going to guesstimate I planted between 130 and 150 actually back in here. I come check on these every single day, and the last time I counted, I had 62 already coming up out of the ground. And they are just getting bigger and bigger every day I come out here and check on them. What I did here with our potatoes is I just laid down strips of cardboard, and for the majority of them, I just put the potatoes directly on top of the cardboard, put some dirt over it, and then about a week later, I went and bought straw, and I covered them up with some straw. As they grow, when they get about 6 inches tall, I'm going to come back with either the leaves I have in the back of our yard or with more straw, and I'm just going to mound them up again to where no potatoes get hit by the sun. If potatoes get hit by sun, they do turn green, and that's toxic for humans. Keep your potatoes mounded. I'm working too hard back here to feed my family straight from our backyard to have potatoes go toxic. So keep your potatoes mounded. And I chose to do this method because I didn't want to dig into the ground to plant the potatoes, because my backyard, I can't have an in-ground garden back here. It floods and puddles, and I feel like the potatoes would just rot sitting in all this water back here. So we did an above ground trench system, whatever, no dig trench system, I keep calling it. So hopefully it works. I mean, it's obviously working. The potatoes are starting to come up, and why wouldn't it work from here? And these potatoes I just planted last week are starting to pop up too. Cool. So that's what we have so far planted here in our backyard to feed our family of 5 this year. I did place an order for 6 more yards of soil, but it keeps raining here in Northeast Ohio to where the guy won't deliver it because it's going to get soaked and whatever at the top of the driveway. It's going to take me quite a few days to shovel all of it into the wagon and bring it on back here to fill up these beds. But I do have 6 or 7 more beds to fill up for all of our summer crops. As a little side note, we are getting so many eggs. We are getting so many eggs from our backyard chickens. It's ridiculous. We are drowning in eggs right now. And honestly, we are getting a little sick of just scrambled eggs and fried eggs. So just yesterday, I was looking up ways to use up the abundance of eggs that we're getting, spice things up a bit. Right now, actually, my brother is inside making scrambled eggs, but we're gonna have egg and cheese tacos with those for breakfast. So it's a little bit spicier than just scrambled eggs. My Easter eggers started laying, so that's a little bit of excitement from the backyard chickens these days. I got 1 fresh egg so far. But it's still early. I usually don't come check the chickens until I get home from work about 2:33, and it's like 9:30 on a Saturday morning, so I don't expect too much back here. Yeah, no green eggs to show you right now. I only got 2, But one day last week, I got a dozen eggs in one day, and that's the most I've ever gotten, so very exciting, very exciting. I don't think I said this when I was talking about my potatoes. If only 62 potatoes end up growing, on the low end, that's like 120 pounds of potatoes if they grow very poorly. So I already made my money back. I spent about $40 on seed potatoes this year. I already made my money back with just the 62 plants that are growing if they grow poorly. They average 3 to 5 pounds per plant. And if I just get 2 pounds per plant, that's like 120 pounds of potatoes. And that's only less than half of what I planted. So we're looking good for potatoes this year. And last year, the taters were the easiest things I grew. So I highly recommend looking into how to grow potatoes, because you can grow them in grow bags. You don't have to have them all spread out your backyard like this. They grow in grow bags. You can put them in a box of cardboard and cover them up with some leaves and they'll grow. They're so easy. They're so easy. And you can make them in so many different ways. So grow yourself some taters. That's it for today's video. I just wanted to come back here real quick and film what's been going on the last 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't made a video in a few weeks because I've been just so busy trying to get everything ready. It's just been nuts. But I'm gonna go have some egg tacos. Have a great day. And if you're interested in how to grow food from your backyard to feed your family, follow along for some inspiration. Not like it matters. I know I already finished this video, but up here in my driveway, we have a bucket garden going on, and so far, one of our broccolis are thriving. I got a strawberry tower going on. Strawberry in this little grow bag. And in another week or so, when it's past the last frost date, I'm going to put this bottom row with teas. Like I went to a nursery by me and got a bunch of cool stuff, but I got chocolate mint. I got a pineapple sage. I've been dying for this apple mint. And I got, where is it? I think it's this one. Stevia. So I got a whole bunch of different mints and sages and stuff to make our homemade tea this summer too.